Hello, everyone, and welcome back down here to the Gamer's Den with me, your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire. And joining me today is my most adorable co host, Nora, journeyman storyteller and initiate to the seventh circle of lore. And for today's part of the Occultist Guide, we are going to be getting into their skills. And for this section, we are going to be looking at which skills we want to focus on and which ones we want to leave aside for this particular build, and go a little bit into why. And so, to that end, we start off with the Appraise skill. Now, this is a skill I think gets bashed on a bit overmuch in a lot of guides. A lot of people say things like, oh, it's useless, you can just have an NPC do that. And while true, it just seems to me like, especially if you're going for a more character oriented build rather than one that's mechanically effective, it's an interesting skill to have, and I think it's a good one that can help round out a character. But since we're focusing on things mechanically, while this skill does run off of your intelligence score, which is going to be good, it's still not what we want to focus on. We want to free up our skill points for other skills, which are both mechanically and thematically appropriate for our character in this particular build. And then from there, diplomacy also follows the same lines. Also, charisma is our dump stat for this build, just a little bit below strength there. And so this isn't going to be what you focus on at all. You're not the party face. You don't have the highly developed and honed social skills. So leave that for the bard, leave that for the high charisma rogue, or the paladin. From there, though, we do have Disable Device. Now, Dexterity is one of our good stats, so even the occasional skill point will be of a major benefit, especially with a party that's lacking in a rogue. And then going after Disable Device, we have the Disguise skill. Again, Charisma is our dump stat, and so you have Magic as an option as well if you really need to be changing your appearance. So you have a way around this particular limitation, and you don't really need to worry about skills in this case. But then we have Fly. Now, a rank or two now and then will be more than sufficient, but it's good for you to have for those moments when you need to get to those hard to reach opponents using your fly magic or anything else that will allow you to fly, like celestial armor or winged boots, things like that. And then after Fly, we have Knowledge Arcana. Now, the knowledge skills are really where we're going to open up and really dive into what is thematically appropriate, flavorful, and good for the occultist to have. It's important for dealing with ancient mysteries, arcane symbols, dragons, constructs, etc. All kinds of important things for an occultist to know about. Hi, little one. But then after that, we have knowledge engineering, which is covers stuff like aqueducts, forts, bridges, fortifications, identifying strange technological devices, and robot weaknesses if those are a thing in your campaign. There aren't going to be many instances where this applies overall for your character. I mean, talk to your DM about how useful this may be in the particular campaign or adventure, but you can probably be pretty comfortable in the knowledge that you're going to be skipping this one. But after that, we have knowledge history, which is wars, colonies, migrations, founding of cities. That's what's written in the book, but it can obviously cover way, way more given how occultists will cast their spells. Objects of historical significance can be incredibly useful as implements for their castings. And then we move on to knowledge planes. Now, your knowledge of the planes of existence, their traits, and the outsiders that dwell there, that's mostly what this covers. It's useful despite what some say, and it is saying that it's not useful in all campaigns. I think it's going to be good to at least know about, because even if you're not traveling to other planes or outsiders are necessarily the primary threat or opponent, you still may come across wizards and sorcerers that use different summon monster spells. And when they summon these monsters, they may very well summon outsiders. And it will be useful to know what those outsiders are weak to, what they're capable of, and where they come from. All of those things can come into place. So I definitely give this one a bit more of a better rating than just your kind of okayish sort of color scheme, the orange color. But then going on from there, though, knowledge religion is definitely useful. You identify undead, you're familiar with the existence and practices of various religions, etc. This can fill a similar role to knowledge history when coming up with and identifying items of significance that can work as implements. So, definitely a good one to have all the way around, both thematically, mechanically, all of these good things that you can mix and match to your heart's content. Then, after knowledge religion, we come up to linguistics. Now, this runs off of your intelligence and helps you rack up more languages and the ability. Really, Play-Doh? In a little bit, okay?
Hat?
It's too early for Play-Doh. Yes, this is a hat. This also affects your ability to create and detect forgeries. May not be the most important thing unless paperwork is involved in your campaign. Then I'd say you could probably make this blue. You can rate this a very important skill to have, especially if nobody else in your party is going to pick it up. But then we have the most useful skill for any game in any campaign. Oh, we gotta leave that one in there, honey. We have perception. Perception works off of your wisdom skill, but this is going to be the most used skill in the game. Like I said, every campaign will use this skill. And going on from there, we have sense motive. You aren't the face, and wisdom is not a focus for us. 1 point at most will be useful unless you're going to be the only one with this skill. Thank you, honey. Don't hit, though. Going on after that, we have Sleight of Hand. This runs off of our Dexterity score, so that's going to be pretty solid right there, and does have some applications, especially considering that our spells are going to work off of having implements as a focus to make them effective. So if you need to palm an object to keep some of your spells active and handy and you cast at their maximum effectiveness, this could be pretty useful. Also, just walking away with something can be handy, but on top of all the other applications that Sleight of Hand has. Oh, careful, honey. Then we have Spellcraft, and Spellcraft is definitely useful for any spellcasting class, even a 2/3 spellcaster like the Occultist. You're a spellcaster, and this is going to be running off of your base stat. You regularly put points into this to identify spells and different magical effects. We'll find it, honey. Then we have Use Magic Device. You take Pragmatic Activator, and this will run off of your intelligence as well as be a class skill. This will be your bread and butter. Some argue that it's the most powerful skill in the game. I'm inclined to agree. Plus, again, you're an occultist, so this just fits really nice on top of being mechanically effective. Well, this has been my guide to the occultist skills. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you didn't, go on down to the comments below, let me know, hit the dislike button, or if you did but thought I missed something, still, jump in there, participate in the discussion. We're going to be calling it here. If you did enjoy this video, though, there are going to be a couple others popping up over this way that you may enjoy. One, the almighty YouTube algorithm has decreed you will enjoy this. The other is something I've kicked out here recently that you may enjoy as well. Or if this hasn't been your first stop here at the Gamers Den, then why not go down there, hit the subscribe button, and become a regular member and be notified whenever I upload more content here to this channel. But with that said, I've been your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire. This has been my co-host, Nora, journeyman storyteller and initiate to the Seventh Circle of Lore, who is now currently taking everything apart. So I'm going to go help her with that, and we're going to go find some Play-Doh. But thank you all so much for your time, and you all have yourselves a good day, actually.
Pink.